So we're here today with the new Beetle Cabriolet. Well, it's new for us. It's just arrived in the Middle East region. Now, we've already had the coupe, and the coupe has been reviewed on motoringme.com. Do go and check it out. But we're looking today at the Cabriolet. Now, this thing is about 24,000 dirhams starting price, greater than the coupe. It starts at 128,000 dirhams. It's got all the Beetle styling cues as you'd expect. So it's got these fantastic Beetle-esque, fenders at the front. It's got that slightly more retro shape where it's a little bit lower, a little bit more squatter. I love these little things on the side, these sort of kick plates, very reminiscent of the original Beetle. And it has a pram type top here that just sort of sits proud on the back there, just like it used to do in the old Beetle. Boot space is a little bit down because, of course, the regular coupe is actually a hatchback and gives you a fair amount of room, and I think they've had to take up some space there for the hood as well. So slightly less boot space. Still got decent rear space. I had the children in the back there and we drove around as a family and it's fantastic. Not ideal for long-legged adults such as me, so I'm not even going to attempt to get into the back there. But generally for children and regular-sized people, I think it should be absolutely fine. Under the bonnet, you get the familiar 2-litre TSI engine. This is essentially the old GTI engine, and like that car, it produces 210 horsepower and 207 pounds for the torque. That gives you a 0 to 100 time of 7.4 seconds and a top speed of 225 kilometers per hour. It does all that through a 6-speed DSG transmission. And the economy is pretty good, 7.8 litres per 100. I've seen not quite that good, but I've been driving it around a bit hard. Now, going back to the trim levels again, for the base car, you do pretty much get everything. You get the Fender sound system, you get the climate control, you get the cruise control, you get parking sensors, you get LED lights, you get alloy wheels, so it's fairly well equipped. This one, as you can imagine, is the top of the line car. It's called the Exclusive, and it's 141,694. And for that, you get these 20-inch rims. You get this black interior, like piano black interior trim. It gets sill plates on the side and a slightly better leather trim. There's one in the middle. It's called the SEL model, and that's 138. That comes with leather upholstery, sat-nav, and keyless start. But frankly speaking, I think I would stick with the base model just because I think you get pretty much everything you need and you get the fun of having a convertible. I think it's time that we took this for a little drive. So here we are, we're inside the car. I'm joined by Imtishan, and it's quite comfortable in here, isn't it?
It's a good cabin. It's quite comfortable, quite spacious.
And you were looking at this earlier. This is a nice touch, isn't it? This sort of extra glove box.
So this is a throwback to the 50s Beetles that had this little metal glove box here. Yeah. Actually, there is a proper glove box.
That's right, yeah.
So it doesn't have to be there, but it's a nice retro touch.
If you're familiar with the Beetle Coupe that was launched last year, wasn't it? Or year before last year. This is pretty much the same, so we have reviewed this before and it is exactly the same. One thing I noticed, and I did make a point in the review previously, was the Audi and Volkswagen both had to have these proprietary cables if you wanted to connect your phone or anything to them. But now, as you can see, they have conceded, like Audi, Volkswagen has conceded, and there is a USB
Hallelujah,
connector.
they have seen the light.
Do you know what I mean? That is actually very important. So there's an aux there and a USB.
Is there another is that it? Is that it?
That's it. There's lots of little spaces here to store stuff.
Can you put a phone in there?
You can fit a phone.
Not there, but you can fit one in there.
Yeah, and cup holders, obviously.
Little space here for some reason.
There's a little space here as well. I keep my phone there normally. And this thing is adjustable, but also got a pretty massive.
Pretty idea space.
Yeah, pretty massive compartment in there. Obviously, there's the glove box as well. And I like this little. I've got my book in this little, the door pockets with the material. I do like that. Again, a nice touch.
Can it hold a bottle? You think? I think it will.
Yeah, I think it probably would. It may hold one of these smaller ones. Yeah,
not 2 litre, but a 1 litre for sure.
Yeah. But this one's very well equipped. I mean, it's got Fender sound system. Yeah, look, check it out. Yeah. Fender speakers, Fender sound system, which I have had on with the roof down. I've been playing my music on it, Bluetooth up. Fantastic, no issues. And there's something to do with apps as well. I don't know. I mean, I haven't had time to play with it, but you can do apps and things.
Also, they've got CarPlay and Android Auto and all the other fun stuff.
Yeah, appy stuff. It's got appy stuff in it. It's very appy. So it's got all of that.
But it's got gesture control. You keep doing that and it keeps reacting.
It doesn't have gesture control. That's the other car. Yeah. So this although Volkswagen are introducing that, aren't they? So over here we've got the 3 dials sitting on top, and we've got oil pressure, we've got the turbo boost gauge, and we in the middle, believe it or not, it's a clock. This car is obsessed with time.
In a time travel sense,
because there's a clock there.
Yeah.
There's a clock there.
Yeah.
And there's a clock there.
Do all the clocks agree with each other?
They do actually,
Yeah.
they do. But this clock over here is not only a clock, but also, I wonder if I can get it to work, it is a, you press the button a few times, you press it enough times, or maybe through here, one of these, and anyway, well,
So
trust me,
it's a lap timer.
trust me, it's a stopwatch and we have wipers as well. So for some reason the wipers have started.
It's a lap timer.
Okay, to be honest, can you get it to work? I did, but anyway, that's fine. Maybe I'll record it and put it in afterwards. And it'll be an edit. It'll be a very clever edit. Nobody will notice.
Nobody will
notice.
The turbo gauge is a nice throwback though, I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So like I said, plenty of space for my phone down here, not an issue. And let's go for a little drive.
TSG gearbox.
You know, the only way that I've driven this car, we've had it for a couple of days, and the only way I've driven it is with the roof down. Because, come on, why would you drive this with the roof up?
It's a nice convertible. It's a nice convertible actually.
So what do you make of this car?
Is it a manly convertible?
I think it is. One thing I want to say, I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, because there's wind noise and stuff, but let me just see if we can hear the engine noise.
Got a little thrum to it.
It's got a Beetle-esque thrum, isn't it? It's got a very, the exhaust
Tune the
noise.
exhaust to be a little bit like the original pop.
That's right. It's got that flat boxer kind of thrum to it, you know.
It's the normal VAG Group 2-litre four-cylinder.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It feels quite stiff. It's quite rigid for it.
It's fairly sporty actually. You can chuck this thing around. It does have paddle shifts. I haven't really found any advantage whatsoever in using them, to be honest.
DSG, they're all really good.
This DSG is very good. It doesn't do the little parpy thing that some GTIs do when you change up.
Basically spit some fuel in the exhaust to get you parked.
This one doesn't do that. So actually there's no emotive there's no emotive satisfaction from using the paddle shift. So just leave it in sport automatic, it's fine, or normal automatic is the same.
Great car to cruise the California coast, isn't it?
It is, but you know,
touring car, I would say.
It is, you know, with the roof down, it's just bliss. It's just fantastic. But you know, having said that, coming up to the corner here, brakes are pretty decent, and you know, a little bit of roll, but it slings on nicely. And
20-inch wheels on that.
20-inch wheels, 20-inch. But you know, I reckon the regular, I think they're 18s or 19s on the standard car. They would be fine as well. The ride would be maybe slightly less stiff, but you know, actually quite enjoyable. A little bit of adjustability, you know,
that's
slight bit of understeer.
It's an old GTI.
It's an old GTI. And I think this is something that fundamentally people seem to forget about this generation of Beetle. Unlike the previous car, this is very well set up.
Yeah.
Because this is essentially, it's based on a Jetta platform.
Yeah.
It's got a GTI, old GTI drivetrain. You essentially are in a GTI.
Which is a good thing.
But with more personality. Yeah. With the roof down, with the bug looks, with the love bug looks. Other thing, this car gets a lot of looks.
Does it?
A lot of looks. Especially with the roof down.
Really?
Drive it with the roof down. Whenever you have it with the roof down, people will give you a thumbs up, people will smile, people will come in a mall and park right next to you, much to your annoyance. But they'll see your car and they'll come and park right next to you with big grins on their faces.
They're looking for your purse.
Maybe. Or maybe like, you know, they're just thinking, oh, you know, I see people and you know that look in their eye when you see it and they go, oh, I wish I was in that car. You know what I mean?
You know, it is a nice little thing. And I mean, I would like it with the manual gearbox, which we get in other markets, but we don't get it in this market. I think that would transform the driving appeal of it. But right now, as a car, it's a good proposition, isn't it?
I think it's really, really good. Like I said, I mean, you know,
it's not bad at all. Actually.
Ride isn't bad at all.
20s.
Like I said, like we were saying before, it could be argued that the 141,164 is a bit pricey for this car, but actually, you know, save yourself the money, get the 128, and spend the extra on personalization. I didn't say modification.
I'm waiting for it.
No, I didn't say modification.
I'm waiting for it.
I know we have this thing about I'm not into modifying cars, but
except when it suits him.
But personalization, because I think this is a car that lends itself aesthetically to, you know, just personalizing it to your own character.
What's on your list of?
You know, you maybe put colors, change the colors, maybe put racing stripes on it. You know, just stuff like that. Big old 53 maybe or something, you know. Yeah. But I think it's also quite color sensitive, so I think stronger, darker metallic colors if you're a guy.
Yeah.
You know, light pastels perhaps.
Maybe blue if you're a woman. Perhaps?
Yeah, perhaps, you know. But this one's quite a neutral one because it's white with the beige roof, and I think it's actually very neutral. I think, you know, I don't feel challenged. I don't feel challenged at all driving this car.
I feel threatened by the way you drive it, but I feel not challenged, no.
Not challenged, no. And we're just two blokes in the convertible, having a nice drive in the desert. No connotations here whatsoever.
The man in the other car did look at us just now. Did look at us. Longingly.
Longingly. Longingly looking at you.
You know what? I'll take it.
You might have to, because I'll be out of it. But anyway.
Steady on,
family show. Enough of an innuendo. So overall, I really like this car. I would have one of these. I would actually have one of these.
I actually think it's a very good car. The segment, I think it's different. It doesn't try to be something to have all the people. I think that's really important, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. So big thumbs up from us for the Beetle Cabriolet. I like it probably even more so than the coupe. Like you say, manual gearbox would just make this car, but even so.
Lowered on rims.
Oh,
there you go.
Okay. Maybe not the lowered, but yeah, that could be cool. But yeah.
Bigger turbos, free flashing, loud exhaust. I'm seeing it.
He's doing it.
Yeah.
He said he's done it. He's modified the hell out of it. So there you go. So as ever, more on motoringme.com. Please do find us on all the social media channels, which are
YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, of course.
And if you're on YouTube, please do subscribe. Tell all your friends. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Can you hear that? Neither can I. One of the quietest I've ever experienced.